If you look at the schedule of services for an Orthodox church, you'll see that every single Sunday we have the Divine Liturgy. But there is another weekly service on Saturday night, a beautiful and peaceful service known as Great Vespers. On Sunday mornings, Orthodox Christians around the world go to church for the Divine Liturgy. This is the central service of our lives and one of the greatest events you can ever experience. We have a video introducing the Divine Liturgy on this channel, and there are plenty of resources about it online. We always say on this channel that you can't learn about it, you have to go and see it. You have to be there. No amount of explanations will ever match up for being at the Divine Liturgy and going to several of them until you understand some of the rhythm and the pattern and what is happening there. There is, however, another service that is shorter, easier, there's less to explain, and it happens every single week at most Orthodox churches around the world, and it is on Saturday evening. This is known as Great Vespers. And if you are a little nervous about exploring Orthodoxy and you want to start off slower and gentler, you might enjoy going to Vespers first. Vespers is the common name for the Saturday night service, but it is more properly known as Great Vespers because there are different types of Vespers services. The Saturday night one is Great Vespers. The word Vespers is simply the Latin term for evening. It is a period of time, and the idea of Vespers prayers goes back in Christian history absolutely centuries. Vespers has continued in both the Eastern Orthodox world and the Roman Catholic world and in other Christian cultures. Composers like Mozart and Vivaldi were inspired by their experience of Vespers to write their own music for their Vespers. Most of Great Vespers is gently chanted hymns and psalms. The Book of Psalms in the church isn't just a collection of writings. It's not just something we read, it's something we pray. We use it as it was intended to be used, a book of prayers. And you'll hear a lot of psalms at Great Vespers, and there will be varied psalms that will change between Vespers throughout the year. Even before Christ, the Book of Psalms was seen as this hymnal, with psalms for different purposes and different times. There are many psalms that have been considered for centuries even before Christianity as morning psalms, and other psalms as evening psalms. The evening psalms still play a part of our Vespers services. It is important to note that Great Vespers does not happen the night before the Sunday liturgy, it happens the day of the Sunday liturgy. Historically, the day never began at midnight, it began in the evening. This can be seen as far back as Genesis, when it says that there was evening and there was morning the first day. The day begins at sunset, when darkness falls, and continues through the rising of the sun and the light into the next evening. So any Vespers service that you attend will be inextricably linked to the Divine Liturgy in the morning. It will introduce hymns and stories and characters and psalms that are part of the next morning's Divine Liturgy. Great Vespers and the Divine Liturgy are not two separate events, but a part of the same story that leads us to the Eucharist. And it follows this pattern of darkness to light, as the night comes and we light the lamps, preparing for the rising sun, which represents to us the risen Christ. When Vespers opens up, it begins with the Trisagion prayers, a series of prayers, several of which we have looked at on this channel already, as well as the Lord's Prayer. From there we go to a psalm that has been known since ancient times as a psalm of evening, a psalm to prepare us for sunset, to thank God for creation, and to prepare us for the night ahead. We read in it, "Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, you are very great. You are clothed with honor and majesty, who cover yourself with light as with a garment." And later, "The sun knows it's going down. You make darkness, and it is night." Then there comes what is known as a litany, a word that simply means supplication. This is when the priest will make requests of God for peace, for protection, for the country's leaders, for the clergy, for the people, and for the community holding that Vespers service. This litany and others like it also happen during the liturgy and other Orthodox services. From this point, there may be a slight variance depending on what time of year it is and what event is coming up the next day. You will hear some more tiny litanies, you will hear some more hymns and psalms. These prayers call upon God's mercy and His presence, and altogether give a spirit of peace and calm to the service. So you'll hear things like, "Hear me, O Lord, let my prayer arise in your sight as incense, and let the lifting up of my hands be an evening sacrifice. My eyes are upon you, O Lord, in you I take refuge, do not leave my soul destitute. From the morning watch until night, from the morning watch let Israel hope in the Lord." From there we come to one of the most beautiful and beloved hymns in all of the Orthodox world, a hymn known as Gladsome Light, a hymn that we already have an episode about on this channel. This is an ancient lamp-lighting hymn from the early days of Christianity. It may in fact be the oldest hymn Christians have that isn't directly in the scriptures. We might even have reference to it in pagan writings about Christians. This hymn is that ancient. While you can watch our episode about it, what I do recommend is that you go to Vespers to hear it. There are many different ways it is sung around the Orthodox world, but all of them warm your heart, all of them are beautiful. This hymn may be in some churches a point in which lamps will be lighted, in which the lights may turn on, in which more candles may be brought out. It is the lamp-lighting hymn, after all, and the rest of the service proceeds towards the conclusion with some more hymns, some more prayers. There is a small procession of the priest with some incense. All of this ultimately takes us to the conclusion of the service, which is to prepare us for the Sunday service or the Divine Liturgy happening the next morning. The linking prayer that takes us between Vespers and the liturgy, between Saturday evening and Holy Communion on Sunday morning, is the prayer of Saint Simeon. It is in the Gospels that Simeon holds in his hands the baby Jesus, and he says, as we say with him, this prayer: Lord, now let your servant depart in peace, according to your word, for my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared before the face of all people, a light to enlighten the Gentiles, and to be the glory of your people, Israel. From here, there'll be one or two short hymns, short prayers before the priest dismisses the congregation for the evening and hopes to see them the next morning. So again, if you want to know more about this service, if you want to experience Vespers, please do so in person. Go to a church service in the evening. There will be less people there, there will be less noise, and it is a calm introduction to Orthodoxy. If you are Orthodox and you haven't been to Vespers in a while, please go again soon. Not enough people go to Vespers. It is a beautiful service. It will give you a sense of peace after the end of your week, and it will prepare your heart and your mind for the Divine Liturgy the next day. Great Vespers is one of the true treasures of the Church, a beautiful event designed to every week call us again into the peace and the beauty of the light of Jesus Christ. In some sense, this episode is a companion piece to a couple of other episodes, to the Divine Liturgy episode, which is our most often viewed episode on this channel, and to our episode on Gladsome Light, which is a hymn in and of itself, has a beautiful story behind it, but sits beautifully in Vespers. We're accompanying the episode with a cup of tea that I picked up because it had sunrise in the name. It has apple in it, hibiscus, and I think what really drags it down, it has artificial flavorings. I don't think any tea should be artificially flavored because it ruins it. No.
I feel betrayed.
Okay, yeah, let's be honest, that's not good.